everybody, it's Sarah Schober. So I'm going to try to do a devotional video every once in a while. So this is my first one, my very first one. So I'm really kind of shy and nervous, so just bear with me. So before I start, I just wanted to just tell you guys that I am not perfect. I am a Christian. I'm a born-again believer, and but that doesn't mean I'm perfect. And I just wanted you all to know that because I just want to put my heart in the right area before I start. And everything I say today, please do not take my word for it. Please go and open up your own Bibles and check your own Bible. And even follow along with me if you'd want to, just because being that I'm not perfect, nobody should really take anyone's word for it. Even at church, like when I go to church, the pastor that's up there, even though he's been to school, he's been to Bible college, I'm not gonna just take his word for it, because that's the difference between like being a Christian and Christianity and then like religion. I don't consider myself a religious person just because I'm not going to listen to what a priest says or what a pastor says unless it follows through with the Bible. Sorry, my dog. So just so we got that straight. And another thing too is if you're a guy watching this, obviously I can't control if you watch it or not, but in 1 Thessalonians somewhere, I don't know the actual verse, but in Thessalonians somewhere it says that women should not teach men. So I would rather this be for girls. Again, I can't control if a guy watches this or not, but I'm just going to say that just to kind of put myself in the right place here. So so if you're a girl, watch this. If you're a guy, that, you don't need to. Yeah, you shouldn't. Anyways, so right to the point, a lot of my friends have told me that they don't read the Bible because they feel like it's boring, and they don't know where to begin, and they don't know where to start. And I understand that feeling completely. I was born and raised in a Christian home, and I was homeschooled, so I often do not know. I know how they feel, because my dad read the Bible to us every morning at 5 a.m., except for Saturdays and Sundays. But so I kind of feel like, oh, been there, done that. I know it all. Shh, stop. So I feel like I really just, I get bored sometimes with it, and I feel like, oh, I've already heard this, I've already heard that a zillion times, and I don't need to hear this again. So I just, whenever, well, this is just kind of a tip, something that I do. I'm normally a pretty deep thinker, and I really do like to think deep sometimes and like read poetry and ponder stuff. But sometimes I'm not always like that. That happens to me, I don't know, it's kind of 50-50. Sometimes I'm just not in the mood to think deep, and I don't feel like reading the Bible and thinking deep and trying to search for God. Shh, stop. My dogs. Anyways, so I often feel that way, and I feel like, oh, the Bible's boring, and I don't really want to. So whenever I do feel like that, what I do is I'll usually go to the Old Testament and I'll read a Bible story. There's all kinds of awesome stories in the Bible, and I know we've seen them and we've heard them, and we've seen the movies and we've heard them on TV and on movies and books and stuff like that, and then in Sunday school. But David and Goliath, for example, is a really, really popular one. Everybody knows, the story, but it's so different when you read it out of the Bible. I mean, there's so many details and things you can learn, and the way the Bible expresses it. You can watch the movies and read the books and stuff like that, but it's not the same. I don't think so anyway. It's not the same as reading it out of the Bible. So So that's what I was doing the other day, and I came across this story in First Kings. First in the second chapter, King David dies, and then Solomon asks God for wisdom. I'm sure you've heard about that before. In chapter 3 of First Kings, I'm not going to read it word for word because I usually stutter. Hey, stop. Anyways, so he asks God for wisdom, and of course God gives it to him. And then it's also chapter 3. A long story short, I'm not gonna read it from the Bible because I tend to stutter. But if you want to read it, and you really should, it's in 1 Kings 3. But anyways, so Solomon's having this big party. King Solomon, he's the king now. He asked God for wisdom, and then these two women come to him, and one woman says, this woman, they live in the same house, and they each had their own baby boy. And the one woman comes to King Solomon, and she says, this woman took rolled over on her baby and killed it. And then in the middle of the night, she went and took her baby, the other baby from the other woman. So basically just traded babies, and then lied and said that she was the one that rolled over on her baby. So she said, this woman has, my real baby. So King Solomon's kind of, who do I believe? Do I believe this woman or do I believe the other woman? Because they're fighting over this, and they each think that they're the ones that have the live baby, the baby that's alive. So King Solomon says, and it's kind of brutal, but he doesn't really do it, but he says, okay, so take the baby that's alive and cut it in half and give half to this woman and half to that woman. And this is in the Bible. So if you think it's a little R-rated or anything, just, I don't know, it's in there. God must have wanted it to be in there for a reason. So anyways, and then the real woman confessed, no, she can have the baby, that's my son, she can have the baby, I don't care, don't cut my son in half. So then, because of what he said and what he commanded, the real mother came forth and wanted her baby to live. She didn't care. She didn't care if the other woman raised it or not. She just wanted her son to live. So then that kind of helped bring out the truth. So anyway, so they didn't cut the baby in half, so don't worry. But and I don't believe King Solomon, I don't believe that was his intention. I don't believe he would really do that. I think he only said that to get the truth out of them. So anyways, and then I was thinking, and that was kind of a story that was in there that was actually very wise of King Solomon to say that, because it brought out the truth in both of the women. So, and anyways, as I was, because sometimes if I'm not in the mood to ponder and read the Bible, I will read a Bible story, and then sometimes I'll kind of transition over into that pondering, deep thinking stage. So I was pondering this and deep thinking this story, and I thought, okay, well, King Solomon asked God for wisdom, so I should be able to ask God to help me to understand the Bible. So that's just another idea that I was going to give you guys, is if you feel like like it's so hard and you don't really know where to start, what book to begin, our God is an awesome God and a powerful God, and I'm sure that He is big enough to put ideas into your head about what to read and where to start, and to help you understand the Bible. So I just wanted to share that with you guys. There are all kinds of good stories in the Old Testament, and even in the New Testament, the stories about Christ. Just awesome stories about miracles and just His teachings and everything. So, and so I think that would be a good idea for you guys to do, and I would just challenge you to do that too this week or today or tomorrow. just say a little prayer and ask God to give you that passion. So I'm not sure if I said this before, but I was kind of getting around to it, but the sermon that our pastor did on Sunday was it was a Christmas sermon, and it was just about how sometimes the whole story of Jesus' birth can get so cliche and we could get so used to it, you know. So sometimes it's hard to have that joy sometimes, and that excitement, and just to get that passion out again. So he talked about just kind of renewing that passion in our lives, and I think the Bible can get the same way, especially if you're a Christian all your life like me, or just anyone else who has, or you were born and raised in a homeschool Christian family like me. It can get kind of cliche and kind of just, you know, boring sometimes, but God is not so small that he can't help you revive that, awaken that passion in you again. So and you'll go up and down, and no one can live a perfect life. Like I said, I'm not perfect. Even Christians, we're not perfect. We're just forgiven, like the bumper sticker says. So that's all I have for you today. I hope this inspired you a little bit. Like I said, please do not take my word for it. Please go and check it out in the Bible yourself. I talked about 1 Kings, the 2nd and 3rd chapter. So yeah, check it out and get in there, get in the Word every day. I'll just leave you with one little last thought here. I once heard a woman say that when we use our cell phones, we need to charge them every day. Like every night when you go home, you probably put your cell phone on the charger. It's the same way with the Word of God. And I am so guilty of this. I'm a very busy person, and I really don't have any right to speak, but I try to just read the Bible at least 3 times a week or something. So I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, I read the Bible every day. I really don't. I try, but it's really hard sometimes. It gets busy, especially around this time of year. But anyways, so about our cell phones, back to the cell phone now. We need to recharge ourselves and our heart. So the Bible helps recharge your heart and recharge yourself, and kind of puts you back in that place. So anyways, have fun this week and today and tomorrow recharging your heart. And whoever watches this, I just pray blessings of love and compassion and happiness on you and your friends and family. So have a very Merry Christmas, and I will try to make another one of these as soon as I get another really good thought. So that's worthy of sharing. So I love you all. Have a Merry Christmas.